Candace Parker just dropped a nuclear bomb on WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, and the fallout is sending shockwaves through the entire league as we head into 2025. What she revealed about Engelbert's shocking behavior behind closed doors has players, fans, and even NBA executives questioning if the commissioner's days are numbered. This isn't just drama. This is a full-blown leadership crisis that could reshape the WNBA forever. Before we dive into this explosive situation, drop a comment below and let us know if you think Cathy Engelbert should step down immediately. The evidence Candace presented is absolutely damning, and what makes it worse is that multiple WNBA superstars are now coming forward with their own horror stories. Here's what went down. On a recent episode of the Post Moves podcast, Candace Parker, two-time MVP and absolute WNBA legend, was supposed to be discussing leadership in women's basketball with Aaliyah Boston. Instead, she delivered what might be the most devastating takedown of a sports commissioner we've ever witnessed. Parker didn't yell, didn't rant. She just calmly laid out the facts in a way that left everyone's jaw on the floor. "I signed a deal with Amazon to broadcast," Candace said, her voice steady but loaded with meaning. "Adam Silver texted me congratulations. When I had my third child, Adam Silver sent a baby gift and a personal note. When I retired, he messaged me thanking me for my contributions to basketball. From Cathy Engelbert, nothing. Radio silence. Not a single text, call, or acknowledgement." But that wasn't even the most shocking part. What happened next would expose a pattern of neglect so severe that it's making sponsors nervous about their WNBA investments heading into the new season. Candace revealed that when she finally saw Engelbert 4 months after her retirement at the Phoenix All-Star Game, all she got was a casual congratulations in passing. 4 months. That's how long it took the commissioner of the WNBA to acknowledge one of the greatest players in league history retiring. The comparison to Adam Silver wasn't just brutal, it was surgical. Silver oversees 450 NBA players, plus the G League and international operations. Engelbert manages barely 150 WNBA players. Yet somehow, the NBA commissioner finds time to build personal relationships with WNBA stars, while their own commissioner treats them like strangers. That's not just bad leadership, that's a complete dereliction of duty. What makes this even more explosive is the timing. As we enter 2025, the WNBA is at a critical crossroads. Caitlin Clark's historic rookie season brought unprecedented attention to the league, with viewership up 300% and merchandise sales breaking every record. Sophie Cunningham's move to the Indiana Fever has created one of the most exciting young cores in basketball. The league should be capitalizing on this momentum, but instead, they're dealing with a leadership crisis that threatens to derail everything. But here's where it gets really messy. Sources close to the situation are now revealing that Candace's comments have opened the floodgates. Sabrina Ionescu and Elena Deledone have both privately confirmed they've had similar experiences, with more personal contact from Adam Silver than their own commissioner. Think about that for a second. The person running a competing league cares more about WNBA players than the person supposedly advocating for them. The reaction from current players has been swift and devastating. While no one wants to go on record yet for fear of retaliation, social media activity tells the story. Multiple All-Stars liked and shared Candace's podcast clip within hours. The silence from Engelbert's office has been deafening. No statement, no defense, nothing. It's as if she's hoping this will blow over. But anyone paying attention knows this is just the beginning. What nobody's talking about yet is the financial implications. Several major sponsors are reportedly reconsidering their WNBA partnerships if leadership changes aren't made. One Fortune 500 company executive, speaking anonymously, said, "We invested in the WNBA because we believed in its potential." But if the commissioner can't even maintain relationships with the league's biggest stars, what does that say about her ability to grow the business? The situation gets even more complicated when you consider Engelbert's recent controversies. Just weeks ago, reports surfaced that she allegedly told Nafisa Collier that Caitlin Clark should be grateful for the WNBA platform, suggesting Clark wouldn't be making millions without the league. That comment alone showed a fundamental misunderstanding of how star power works in sports. Clark brought millions of new fans to the WNBA, not the other way around. But that wasn't the worst part. Multiple sources have now confirmed that Engelbert also said players should be on their knees, thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal she negotiated. This from a commissioner whose league still has players making less than $75,000 base salary while generating hundreds of millions in revenue. The disconnect is staggering. Here's what's really happening behind the scenes that nobody wants to admit. The WNBA Players Association is preparing for war. The collective bargaining agreement negotiations are coming up, and Candace Parker's revelations have given the players unprecedented leverage. They're not just asking for better salaries anymore. They're questioning whether the current leadership structure can take the league where it needs to go. The contrast with how the NBA operates is stark and embarrassing. When LeBron James speaks, Adam Silver listens. When Steph Curry has concerns, Silver addresses them personally. The NBA understands that its stars are the product. Without them, you have nothing. Engelbert seems to think the league exists despite its players, not because of them. That fundamental misunderstanding might be her downfall. What makes Candace's timing so brilliant is that she waited until she was retired to speak out. She can't be fined, can't be suspended, can't be silenced. She's now a broadcaster with a platform, and she's using it to advocate for current players who don't have that freedom. It's a masterclass in strategic activism. The ripple effects are already being felt across the league. Team owners are reportedly holding emergency meetings to discuss the situation. Some are pushing for immediate action, while others want to wait and see if this blows over. But with social media amplifying every development and fans demanding answers, waiting might not be an option. Here's something else nobody's discussing. Engelbert's salary is reportedly over $1 million per year, while some WNBA players qualify for food stamps in the off-season. Yet she can't find time to send a congratulations text to a retiring legend. The optics are beyond terrible. They're insulting to every player who sacrificed to build this league. The situation with Caitlin Clark makes this even more urgent. Clark's rookie season brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA, but she's already dealing with controversial officiating, physical play that borders on assault, and a commissioner who seems more interested in managing jealousy from veteran players than protecting the league's biggest draw. If the WNBA loses Clark's goodwill because of poor leadership, it might never recover. Sophie Cunningham's recent comments about league management add another layer to this controversy. While she's been diplomatic publicly, sources say she's privately frustrated with how the league handles marketing and player promotion. The Indiana Fever's young core, including Clark, Boston, and Cunningham, represents the future of the WNBA. If they lose faith in leadership, where does that leave the league? But here's the kicker that nobody saw coming. Reports are now emerging that several NBA team owners who also own WNBA franchises are considering intervention. They're watching their WNBA investments struggle under Engelbert's leadership while seeing the massive potential being squandered. One owner allegedly said, "We have a commissioner who doesn't understand that relationships drive business in professional sports." The players' response has been nothing short of revolutionary. They're not just complaining anymore, they're organizing. WhatsApp groups are buzzing with discussions about collective action. Some are even floating the idea of starting their own rival league if changes aren't made. That might sound extreme, but when your commissioner treats you like you don't matter, extreme measures start looking reasonable. What's particularly damaging is how this reflects on the WNBA's credibility. The league constantly talks about empowerment and respect for women athletes, but when your own commissioner doesn't show basic courtesy to your legends, those words ring hollow. It's hypocrisy at the highest level, and fans are noticing. The timing couldn't be worse for Engelbert. The 2025 season is supposed to be a breakthrough year. New media deals, expanded rosters, and the continued Caitlin Clark phenomenon should have the league riding high. Instead, they're dealing with a leadership crisis that threatens to overshadow everything positive happening on the court. Here's what insiders are saying will happen next. The Board of Governors will likely call an emergency meeting within the next 2 weeks. Engelbert will be given a chance to respond to these allegations and present a plan for improving player relations. But with Candace Parker's credibility and the mounting evidence from other players, it's hard to see how she survives this. The real question isn't if Engelbert will step down, but when. Some are betting she'll try to ride out the storm until the end of the 2025 season. Others think the pressure will become unbearable within weeks. Either way, her effectiveness as commissioner has been fatally compromised. How can you lead a league when your biggest stars have publicly declared they have no relationship with you? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this story is developing by the hour, and you won't want to miss what happens next. The future of the WNBA literally hangs in the balance. What makes this whole situation even more incredible is that Candace Parker didn't even seem angry. She delivered her devastating assessment with the calm precision of someone who's simply tired of pretending everything's fine. That controlled delivery made her words hit even harder. This wasn't emotion talking, this was fact. The contrast with how other sports leagues operate is embarrassing for the WNBA. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell might be controversial, but he maintains relationships with star players. MLB's Rob Manfred regularly engages with the game's biggest names. Even MLS, a much smaller league, has a commissioner who understands the value of personal connections. Engelbert stands alone in her isolation from the very people who make her league possible. As we head deeper into 2025, the WNBA faces a choice. Stick with a commissioner who's lost the trust and respect of players, or make a change and capitalize on the incredible momentum the league has built. With talents like Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham ready to take women's basketball to new heights, the wrong decision here could set the league back decades. The final insult might be the Christmas gift revelation. Adam Silver sends WNBA stars Christmas gifts every year. It's a small gesture that shows he values them as people, not just assets. Engelbert can't even manage that basic level of human connection. If you can't remember to acknowledge the people who make your league special during the holidays, what does that say about your priorities? This story is far from over. More players are expected to speak out in the coming days, and the pressure on Engelbert will only intensify. The WNBA is at a crossroads, and the path it chooses will determine whether it becomes the global powerhouse it should be or remains stuck in mediocrity because of failed leadership. One thing's certain, Candace Parker just changed the game, and there's no going back now.